Welcome back, football fans, to another episode of the Prediction Show. I am your host, Joe, and this is OddAlerts.com. This that you see right here is the last 10 data for all Champions League teams. We're going to be looking through this throughout the episode. We're also going to be looking at Monday's games because this is a double header episode. We have got Monday and Tuesday packed into one episode. So if you're from the future, don't worry, just skip ahead to the Champions League stuff. You can see the timestamps in the description. But if you're living in the present, and that present happens to be Monday, then we are going to take a look at Newcastle versus West Ham. And I've also found a cracking game from Denmark via the trends pages. So we will take a look at that. But first, I've got something to announce. I have to announce that my own creation is getting the better of me so far. Man versus Machine. Here are the results so far. If you watch the live stream, the bet slip generator threw out I think it was 7.39. The screenshot will be here. One game was postponed. There was quite a few postponements this weekend, last weekend rather. But look at that. Fantastic. I can't compete with that, can I? Clearly. We had a very, very good bet slip, to be fair, that we put together. Nines with 9.3. Again, you'll see it here. And the live stream, if you caught it, was pretty good just because people could add their predictions, give their instant feedback on games as I was going through them. It was quite a good experience. I'll probably do it again Saturday morning. Was a good time to do it, I think. But yeah, this slip here, if you took some of these as singles, as we did talk about and as we suggested, Wickham or draw and over 1.5 goals, they are absolutely smashing it at the moment. And then Wolves to score a second half goal. We talked in length on the stream about that one. They've got good form for it recently, and of course I think they scored 3 second half goals in the end. So yeah, well done if you got on them, and well done if you got on this as well, the Chelsea bet builder that we also put together on the stream. That landed thanks to it must be said, last second handball from Enzo Fernandez. And well done to this chap or chapette. You have won a month of Odd Alerts Pro for commenting on the last video. And the same applies for this video. Add your comment down below and I will make it very easy for you because I've got a question. Manchester United played Ipswich. Where will they finish this season? Where will Manchester United finish this season? Get your thoughts in the comments. I believe they will finish 4th or 5th. I know that's a bit of a cop-out answer, but it's very tough to call because some of the teams this season, Chelsea showing that they've got potential, Tottenham 1 week showing they've got potential, then next you don't know what you're going to get. Where will City finish as well? That's what I want to know. Get your comments in. What have you made of the weekend's action? So Newcastle versus West Ham, game week 12. We can see here over 1 goals. West Ham have seen that in 91% of their games. Newcastle coming to this 9th, West Ham 14th. I don't think West Ham fans are expecting a victory, but if they lose this and they don't put up a fight and they are pretty, abject in this game, I think it could be the end for Lopetegui. Let's see how this one goes. In terms of win percentage, just 20% on the road. It is still a small sample size, but 27% of all games this season. They are 14th. It's not where they will want to be. David Moyes had them sort of pushing 8th, Europa League, Europa Conference places, didn't he? Their form is just very, very inconsistent, very patchy. Away from home, they have conceded in all games since the opening day, a 2-0 win away at Crystal Palace. But since then, they are winless, and they've not really had that many tricky games. Tottenham away, tricky. Forest, Brentford, Fulham, Palace. It's a favourable start to the season, isn't it? And for Newcastle, it is 2 wins on the bounce. Isak has found his scoring boots, hasn't he? I've got Anthony Gordon in my fantasy team. I'm sure he will be supplying Isak in this game. We'll take a quick look at cards now because West Ham here, you can see the opponents per game. This is cards, obviously. So West Ham's opponents are being booked 1.4 times per game on average. That's their away form. Overall 1.55, so it's still pretty low. And when you look at the players that they've got, I think there's room for this value to improve. So whilst it's kind of leaning us in the direction of maybe West Ham most cards for this game, especially given Newcastle's opponents average 3.6 per game. But that doesn't excuse Newcastle because you can see above there 3.4. They've got players that do quite often commit a lot of fouls. Joe Linton, Bruno, Anthony Gordon likes a foul as well, to be fair. Longstaff. They've got players in the middle that if it becomes a physical game, then they will be there and they will be enforcing themselves on the game, and they'll receive cards as they do, 3.4 per game. So slightly risky. We'll see what the odds are here. I believe they were 1.75 or something like that. I was looking at the goal range as well, which is interesting. Team to get the most cards, 1.72 for West Ham. So 1.72 West Ham to get the most cards. Let me know what you think about that one. I've also, of course, been looking player to score or assist, Isak, but I'm going to just keep this one simple. No need to try and predict everything that's going to happen in the game. Under 4 goals gets us to 2.75. Have you been using the goal range as well? Let me know if you have in the comments. 1 to 4 goals, 2.25. I usually go for under 4 goals, which in this case would include 0, right? It would include 0-0. Whereas 1 to 4 goals, obviously it's 1 or 4. And that is something just to note, some people might not realise that. But yeah, some of the odds for these goal range markets have been pretty crazy once they launched. So we can take a look at the goals scored here, and there has been 0 goals scored in 4 of the last 5. So BTTS no, I would say there. And if we look at that for Newcastle, it does look like they're coming out of their bad run, to be fair, now that they've got players that are fit and firing. Gordon took a while to get going this season. Isak coming back from injury as well. But it is 2 games for West Ham without finding the back of the net, and it's 2 games against Forest and Everton as well. Now Everton, decent defensive record, another clean sheet at the weekend, but also failing to score. Yeah, under 4 goals is looking all right for me, and this will take it to 2.75. I'm personally quite happy with that. Let me know what you think in the comments. You can always add stuff. This is just guidance for you. You don't have to follow anything that I do. Anthony Gordon to commit a foul takes this to 4-3-3. Just depends what type of game you think this is going to be. I can see this being a pretty dominant sort of 1-0, 2-0 win for Newcastle. I'm just not seeing anything at the moment from West Ham. I think if they get some of their players back, that front sort of 3 or 4 hasn't really been settled all season. Antonio's been playing. They bought the guy in from Germany, didn't they? And he's hardly played. Somerville's only just coming into the team. Kudus, who was fantastic last year, he's suspended, so it's just not looking great for them. Let's have a look at the actual odds for Newcastle to win this game. It takes it to 420. Great number. Newcastle or draw takes it to 320 as well, so that's not too bad. But I do fancy a foul. I don't like to call the result if I don't have to, especially for the Premier League, quite an unpredictable league if we're being honest. I'm liking the Brazilian battle in the middle. You've got Paqueta up against Joe Linton and Guimaraes, and it is that trio of players and Anthony Gordon. Honestly, take your pick. Newcastle players, there are a lot of fouls committed. Joe Linton, Bruno or Paqueta would be the options for me. Let me know who you are appreciating from this list in the comments. I'm going to go with Bruno, and that is the selection for the West Ham game. Newcastle, West Ham, what are your predictions? Get them in the comments. I do read every single comment. Love to start some discussions in there. And if you watched the live stream, please give me some feedback. Did you enjoy it? What would you like to see me cover on the next live stream? I went into it without any plans, so I was just rambling. I didn't even bring a bottle of water in with me, which was a mistake. So 3.75, that is the first game from Monday, and now we're going to take a look at a game from Denmark. So now we are in Denmark for the second game that we're going to cover on Monday. OB, I'm sure that stands for something. This is the team that OB are playing. They're away from home, and as you can see, this team has won 1 game since early August. OB, simply put, are the best team in this division. Not just that, they are 12 points clear at the top of the table. Pretty impressive stuff. And one interesting thing I've just noticed from these results is HB Kogue, who are 12, or were 12 at the time they played them, that is the only recent win. Now, when you go to OB's page, tab, they've got 1 defeat, and I wonder who it was to. At home, 3-0, and they were still 12 when they played them as well. Interesting stuff, but OB has won the previous game, and it is the only game in recent times as well. Before that, 2018. I'm guessing this home team is a team that has just been promoted, or OB has been relegated from the Danish Superliga. Scored per game 3.13, conceded just 7, failed to score in 0% of games, as you would expect, and over 2.5 goals in every single game, so 8 out of 8 away from home. Let's take a look at their away record, and we can see that they are scoring for fun. 2-4, 3-3, 2-5-4 in terms of the goals scored. So let's have a look at what's on offer for this game. Well, I know what it stands for now, Odense BK. And we will take a look at some of the odds, and of course the result 1.45, they're expected to win, they're dominant. BTTS 1.72, over 2.5 goals, which has happened in every single away game for them, 1.57. So 1.57. Let's do something that we've not done on the channel before. We found a selection using man. Now let's use the machine to find a partner for it. So we're going to be looking at one item per slip, target odds of, let's just say 1.5, and we are going to be, let's allow it to just pick any of these things that I've got selected. So double chance, 1x, and we are looking at value bets only. Man and machine coming together. So what do we like the look of here? I've selected next 5 days just so we get one for Monday. So here we've got a game from Greece on Monday. Monday here at 1 p.m. Do we have any Monday night? Yes, we do. Paraguay First Division, double chance, 79%, home win or draw in Paraguay. Let's keep scrolling, see if we have anything else for Monday. So Paraguay game 1.28 is looking okay. Let's just copy that, and then we will run again and see if we get any other games that look decent for Monday. So Gibraltar Premier League Monday evening, Lynx away at Glasses United. That's another option, and we've got a lot of games for Sunday, which is when I'm recording this game. You can see if any of these came in or not. Let's go for that one, shall we? So over 2.5 goals in Denmark. We have combined man and machine. They are merged because Lynx FC double chance is a pick from the OddAlerts probability model, and it is a value bet as well. And you can see the odds behind there. Tough to call this game, so a draw could be quite likely, as could an away win. Let's see how that one goes. I'm going to trust it because it's a value bet. It's based on the probability model. So that is the second slip. Now let's move to Tuesday's games and the Champions League. Whilst I find the Champions League, I've actually got a bonus game for you. Also on Tuesday, Wrexham are playing again tonight. If you watched Friday's video, we discussed Wrexham. We had them at 1.8. We were, talking about them. Plenty of people discussing them in the comments as well. And they won 3-0 at the weekend. And if you can get them at evens or something, it's fantastic. And they are evens tonight, Tuesday night, if you're watching this on Tuesday. So these are the Champions League games. Let's take a quick look at them, and then we will dive into a couple a little bit deeper. Milan away at Slovan Bratislava, 3 out of 4 games for Milan, ending with BTTS so far. Sparta Praha, Atletico Madrid, 2 or more goals in every Champions League game for Sparta Praha, and that is 10, including qualifying. And also for Atletico Madrid as well, 4 out of 4. City Feyenoord, this is an interesting game, isn't it? This is what I'm going to take a look at in a moment. Inter Leipzig, another interesting game. Inter with 0 games ending with BTTS. I imagine that is because of their clean sheet record. PSG away at Bayern Munich. The odds are not quite there for this one, but we'll get into that in a moment. Leverkusen Salzburg, that should be a good game. Barcelona are the team that's playing with Brest this week. Sporting Arsenal, Amorim Sporting against Arsenal. I think they'll cause Arsenal some issues there. I'm not saying Arsenal can't go and get a result, but I think Sporting are on fire, playing with so much confidence and scoring for fun. They won 6-0 at the weekend. Young Boys Atalanta is another game as well. Atalanta playing very, very well at the moment. Right, let's dig into some of these games. Now, City hosting Feyenoord, and if we look at the results here for Manchester City, we see that they have lost 5 games in a row. Pep's first ever time, as you will have been, bombarded with that stat so many times when you go onto X or Twitter or whatever. Sporting put 4 past City, by the way, just if you are looking at them to score, or BTTS against Arsenal in that game. I think that's something I would potentially look at for Tuesday night's games. Yeah, I think here BTTS looks good because Feyenoord, away from home, I looked in the database before I came on, and Feyenoord have failed to score in 1 game since early November 2023, and that 1 game is here, Volendam away in April, so towards the end of last season. I think they'll take confidence in the Tottenham performance, if I'm being honest. So what we're going to do is search for Manchester City, and we're going to put that one straight on because the odds are 1.95. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Well, will City turn it on? Will they bounce back? I think many thought that they would against Spurs, and they didn't. Feyenoord come into this, I think they've scored 7 in the last 2 games. We know they can score goals. Even in the Champions League this season, they've scored 3 away at Benfica. It's not often that they fail to score there against Ajax, but apart from that, it's not often that they don't find the back of the net. Now, City are one of the best teams in the world, regardless of the form or whatever. They've still got quality players on the pitch. So that is my first prediction, City, Feyenoord, BTTS. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, I wanted to touch on Bayern Munich and PSG, because PSG are not in the best of positions in the Champions League new format thingy. They are 1 place outside of the top 24, between 9th and 24. That's where you want to be if you want to get into the playoffs. So all these teams are in line for a playoff spot. It's not the end of the world for them, but it does put a bit of pressure on this game for them to get something. And that's not going to be easy, because this is what Bayern Munich have done since they lost to Barcelona in October. 5-0, 4-0, 3-0, 1-0, 1-0, 3-0. Harry Kane is on fire. Hat-trick at the weekend. 2 penalties, to be fair, but the final goal was a Bergkamp-esque touch and finish. They've not conceded a goal since that iffy result against Barcelona. They were actually very good in moments in that Barcelona game, but Barcelona can just hit you in a moment and score in a moment, and Barcelona are probably one of the favourites for the competition this year, if I'm being honest. So this is going to be an interesting game, and the odds, as I say, they're not quite there. Even for the full-time result, I thought this would be a bit more evenly matched, just given how Bayern Munich have done in the Champions League, how they sometimes are coming out of the Bundesliga. They're still a very good team. Obviously, Vincent Kompany as well, not necessarily experienced manager in the Champions League. 1.64 seems very low to me. So for that reason, I'm out, as Duncan Bannatyne would say. Barcelona, Brest, at the time of recording this, there is no team to get the most card markets, but we had a lot of joy with them in the previous round, didn't we? Barcelona's opponents, I think they were 1.8 to have the most cards. They're playing Barcelona. Yamal, Rafinha, they're going to get the most cards, aren't they? Let's be honest. And it's not available at the moment. Maybe it will be on Monday or Tuesday morning or something. Keep an eye on that if you can. BTTS for the Sporting game is a bit lower, 1.61. So the bookie's expecting Sporting to get a goal and Sporting to score a single goal, 1.3. If we were going to turn this into a treble potentially. I'm quite liking a BTTS double for the Champions League on Tuesday, 3.15. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. What would you add to this? So BTTS, these are the markets at the moment. And as you can see, we are going for that double. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's my double. But what I'm going to do now is just show you some of the last 10 data so you can get a feel for some of the teams that are playing on Wednesday as well. If you want a Wednesday video, let me know by commenting and liking. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Trying to hit 20k before Christmas. Sporting have won 9 out of 9, as have Liverpool. Liverpool facing Real Madrid. Let's do it. Let's put a bet builder together. Get your likes in, get your comments in, and hopefully we can hit the threshold. In terms of games lost, Atalanta come into this unbeaten. So did Inter, so did Liverpool, so did Lille. Lille-Bologna should be an interesting game because Bologna have lost once this season. At the time of recording, they're playing tonight away at Lazio, I think. But Bologna-Lille could be a good game for sort of under 4 goals, something like that. Sporting, of course, in fantastic form. And look at this. Look at this company that Manchester City keeps. Manchester City have lost 5 of the last 10 games. Sparta Praha, Leipzig, Young Boys and Salzburg is the company they keep at the moment in time. Crazy, crazy stuff. In terms of goals, Red Star Belgrade, 47 in the last 10. Barcelona, Dortmund 4-0, was it, at the weekend? 42 goals in their last 10 games. Benfica, Feyenoord, again, Feyenoord City. We're hoping for goals at both ends of the pitch, and I think we will get it. I just don't see how City improve overnight. How can they be so bad against Spurs? How can there be so much space in the middle? Without Kovacic as well now, it's going to be tricky, and there was just so much space to run through the middle, and that is just not usually the case for Man City. They obviously miss Rodri so much. In terms of scoring goals, Benfica are top of the pile. Barcelona, Sporting, Red Star and Atalanta, maybe Atalanta over 1.5 goals. Goals against, Atalanta to win the game because they've only conceded 4 in the last 10 games. That is pretty good going. Goal difference, Benfica. Worst goal difference, Salzburg, who are facing Leverkusen. That's a tough game for them. And in terms of over 2.5 goals, usual suspects, really. In terms of unders, it's Juventus, Bologna, as I say, that could be a tight game. Stuttgart, very, very good team this season. Aston Villa, of course, playing Juventus. That is a great game, isn't it? That is 2 giants of football coming together. It's great that Aston Villa are in the Champions League this year. It really is. Let me know what you want to see next on this channel, and I will cover it, whether it's EFL, Bundesliga, Serie A. Just let me know, and I will do it. Until the next video, I will see you then.